Hi, boys and girls. In reading, we have been talking about analyzing, but also talking about making connections between two types of books. So yesterday we talked about books in a series, and that was really kind of cool to be able to look at those types of books and analyze what authors do when the books all fit in a series. So today we're going to compare two texts, so doing like text-to-text connections. And we're really going to focus on a character. So I went through my pile of my absolute favorite books. Whoops, this is falling. I went through my absolute favorite books, trying to see if I could find any characters that were a little bit similar, okay? And I think I did an okay job. So really kind of look at the characters and maybe what happens to the characters and how it is similar. Okay, so this is really hard to find books that fit this. And so instead of me doing one and then you doing one, I'm just going to read you these two books and see what you notice about the characters. And then maybe in the beginning of tomorrow's video, I will kind of walk you through what I thought. So, so that you kind of know what I thought also. But I want to give you a chance to try it first. So all I'm going to do is read, and I really want you to focus on the characters. So here's The Bad Seed. I've read this book before, so I'm going to be reading this one, and the main character is the seed. So I really want you to be paying attention to him and what you notice about his behavior, his actions, and everything like that. And then I'm going to read you this book, After the Fall. I think I read you this book, but it has been a long time ago. So I'm going to reread both of them to you, okay? And so, oh, by the way, in this one, you're going to be thinking about Humpty Dumpty. He's the main character. So we're going to be comparing The Bad Seed to Humpty Dumpty. And if you remember both books, you probably already have some thoughts in your head about how they are a little bit alike. Here we go. I'm a bad seed. A bad seed. Oh yeah, it's true. The other seeds, they look at me and they say, that seed is so bad. And when they think I'm not listening, they mumble. There goes that bad seed. But I can hear them. I have good hearing for a seed. How bad am I? You really want to know? Well, I never put things back where they belong. I'm late to everything. I tell long jokes with no punchlines, and I never wash my hands or my feet. I lie about pointless stuff, and I cut in line every time. I stare at everybody. I glare at everybody. I finish everybody's sentences, and I never listen. And I do lots of other bad things too. Know why? Because I'm a bad seed. A bad seed. I just can't help it. Sure, I wasn't always this bad. I was born a humble seed on a simple sunflower in an unremarkable field. I had a big family, seeds everywhere. We found ways of having fun. We were close. But then the petals dropped, and our flowers dropped, or our flower drooped. It's kind of a blur. Fresh sunflower seeds, delicious. I remember a bag. Everything went dark, and then a giant. There he is. I thought I was a goner. I thought I was done for. I screamed and I hollered, ah! But I was spit out at the last possible second. I flew through the air and I landed under the bleachers with a huge thud. Thud. When I woke up, it was dark outside. A wad of gum had softened my fall. I felt okay. But something had changed in me. I'd become a different seed entirely. I'd become a bad seed. A bad seed. That's right. I stopped smiling. I kept to myself. I drifted. I was friend to nobody and bad to everybody. I was lost on purpose. I lived inside a soda can. I didn't care, and it suited me. Until recently, I've made a big decision. I've decided I don't want to be a bad seed anymore. I'm ready to be happy. It's hard to be good when you're used to being bad, but I'm trying. I'm taking it one day at a time. Sure, I still forget to listen, and I still show up late, and I still talk during movies, and I do all kinds of other bad stuff. But I also say thank you, and I say please, and I smile, and I hold doors open for people, not always, but sometimes. And even though I still feel bad, sometimes I also feel kind of good. It's sort of a mix. All I can do is keep trying and keep thinking, maybe I'm not such a bad seed after all. Hey, look, there goes that bad seed. Actually, he's not all that bad anymore. I heard that. Okay, so that's the end of that book. Think about what happened to the bad seed, how he changed in the book, how he is as a character, and let's listen to this book, After the Fall. My name is Humpty Dumpty. This was my favorite spot, high up on the wall. I know it's an odd place for an egg to be, but I loved being close to the birds. Then, one day, I fell. I'm sort of famous for that part. Folks called it the Great Fall, which sounds a little grand. It was just an accident, but it changed my life. Fortunately, all the king's men managed to put me together again. Well, most of me. There were some parts that couldn't be healed with bandages and glue. After that day, I became afraid of heights. I was so scared that it kept me from enjoying some of my favorite things. Can't reach the good cereal, can he? I walked past the wall every day, and I would think about climbing that ladder again. I really missed the birds and being high above the city, but I could never do it because I knew that accidents can happen. I eventually settled for watching the birds from the ground. It wasn't the same, but it was better than nothing. And then one day, an idea flew by. Making planes was harder than I thought. It was easy to get cuts and scratches, but day after day I kept trying and trying until I got it just right. Boy, that's a pretty fancy paper airplane. My plane was perfect and it flew like nothing could stop it. I hadn't felt that happy in a long time. It wasn't the same as being up in the sky with the birds, but it was close enough. Unfortunately, accidents happen. They always do. See, his bird got stuck up on that wall. I almost walked away again. But then I thought about all the time I'd spent working on my plane and all the other things I'd missed. I decided I was going to climb that wall. But the higher I got, the more nervous I felt. I didn't want to admit it. I was terrified. Think right here about what is happening to the egg and how he is feeling, and think about how the bad seed felt in the story. Think about it. How are they the same? I didn't look up. I didn't look down. I just kept climbing, one step at a time, until I was no longer afraid. Maybe now you won't think of me as that egg who was famous for falling. Uh-oh, look, crack, crack. Hopefully you'll remember me as the egg who got back up. Look. And learned how to fly. See, he was a bird the whole time. He just didn't know it. The end. Okay, in both of these books, the characters go through similar things and they think similarly. You tell me how the egg is like the bad seed. Tell me how they think and how they change. Think about it, okay? Try to tell me at least 2 things.